Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I told you guys my days are off. Glad to be here with you guys for another wonderful evening of the Real Chat Daddy Show. We're waiting on our co-hosts. They're a little delayed, but they will be here in just a little bit. We're celebrating Women's History Month 2021. And so tonight I welcome to the show an amazing woman who is the CEO and founder of Mekky Media Relations based here in Chicago. She is the incredible Miss Michelle Mekky. She'll be here tonight to talk about her wonderful career in journalism, how she started her amazing media firm, as well as she's the co-author of a great book of inspiration. And she's just an all-around great person. And she has a birthday coming up this week. All right. And then later on in the show, ladies, but some of the guys may learn from this as well, too. We have a young lady who is an empowerment coach, and she'll be here tonight to talk to women about knowing your worth. It is important to know what you are worth and that you demand it in the workplace. Oftentimes, people who are doing the same jobs but of different races end up not being paid the same wages. So she'll be here tonight to talk about that. So we'll do another great night of Women's History Month. So let's start off with today's top news stories. Illinois public health officials released today that an average of 102,564 vaccines were administered over the last 7 days, now topping a previous high of 102,147. The 78,278 vaccine dosages administered Monday has now brought the statewide total to 181,097. State health officials also reported today that we had 26 additional cases of COVID-19 variants originating from the UK. So this now brings our total number to 120 of those variants. Reported in new and confirmed cases, we had 1,997 new confirmed and probable cases of COVID-19. And unfortunately, we had 19 additional fatalities. So we do want to remind everyone the importance of wearing your mask, social distancing, washing your hands, be very careful about your surroundings. I was reading stories today, as well as I saw a story where it said a gentleman ended up contracting COVID the second day after he received the second dosage of the COVID-19 vaccination. And I was just like, what? Oh, my goodness. So it has been reported in Hawaii that the Hawaii Health Department has announced 3 cases in which a fully vaccinated person contracted the COVID-19. So I'm kind of in question about if we're getting these vaccinations, will this keep us from actually getting COVID? But here's the case. Oh my goodness. Hold on one second, you guys. I apologize when people are not prepared and on time. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. So I'm sorry. So they're saying that the probable 95% of the people get immune from the vaccine, but there is a 5% that could actually come up positive for COVID. So I'm wondering, what would this have to do? Like people who are traveling and have to test to be able to come back to the United States, all of that. Hold on one second, you guys. I so apologize. When people are not on time, it is not my fault. Okay. All right. So let's continue on with some back and forth news story. How's everybody tonight? Good evening, Wamelda. Good to see you as well, too. I don't call somebody else. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Oh, my goodness. It has been like a tech. Hey, everybody, I am a new iPhone user. And my iPhone, I'm just like, what is happening? What is going on? It's not letting me do this. So please accept my apologies for getting in here.
Well, I've actually called somebody else because we didn't know what was happening. So we'll work it out. Yeah, because Got to get the show rolling and on
Yeah,
time. So you
dude,
know what I'm saying?
dude,
Yeah, you should have sent me a
dude.
message, something. So
I'm trying to get
yeah,
in. Oh,
yeah,
hey,
yeah. No, I run a tight show. I run a
yeah,
very tight show and a tight ship. And if
yeah,
this was
dude.
if this was Broadway, you wouldn't do it either on there, would you?
Yeah.
Yep. All
Oh,
right. You ready?
I am ready. Are we on? Are we live?
So what's the latest? We're live. The show has been on live. It's been on live now for 7 minutes.
We live. Here we are.
Yes,
Here we
sir.
are. Here
So
we are.
we're talking about the latest COVID-19 update numbers. I gave all the numbers here in Illinois. How about the COVID-19 numbers where you are?
COVID-19 numbers. I'm actually today. I am in DC. And the numbers seem to be leveling off here in DC. Things are starting to open up and things are starting to kind of get a little bit relaxed here in the DMV. New York, I can't say the same about New York. It's a little crazy. But I did just get the vaccine. I got the vaccine. The big thing in New York, everyone's racing to
So
get either
you must be you're on your iPhone doing this?
iPhone.
Yeah, because you're breaking up. We can barely hear you.
Oh no.
Right.
This is
That's
okay.
right. Yes.
Let me fix technology. Let me fix
I
it. This is the
apologize, you guys, for the technical difficulties tonight. We normally do a
please,
pre-show that we tape and check everything. So we'll fade you out until you're ready to come back. I do apologize, everybody. This is not normal. All of my guests know to be ready and available at a certain time. My show starts at a certain time. We do sound check and everything. And professionalism is something that I strive for on this show. I'm proud of Governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker. He eased restrictions and will continue with the mask. Thank goodness. I agree as well too on that as well, Janet. He is thinking about opening up some other things here in Illinois. It was announced today that public high school students will be going back into class in April. And so I think April 19th was the date that they set forward. I hadn't planned on talking about the school system tonight, but I will. But it is scheduled that our high school students will be going back into class. Ravinia, our favorite concert place in Highland Park, Illinois. As you guys all know, Ravinia did not happen last year due to COVID-19. We were in the midst of the pandemic then. Ravinia is now going to open back up in July. There will not be any pavilion seating. There will definitely be lawn seating. And instead of you getting there early and doing random seating, hold on. Somebody came to the rescue. Bye, there she is. Hello, darling.
Hi.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good, sweetie. How are you? Hi, everybody.
Hey, Kay Renee. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to apologize again. I strive to do a very professional show, a show that is just the caliber of any other show. And when I ask people, can they be co-hosts? Can they do certain things? I go through schedules. I actually go through celebrity PR people to book big name guests, all of that. And I just believe in running a tight ship. So I apologize tonight for the offness of my particular show. I don't tolerate that. I want to thank Kay Renee from the bottom of my heart to be able to get ready that quick, because she really had the week off, but she was able to get ready that quick and get on the air. How you doing tonight, Kay Renee?
I'm good. I'm like trying to get some other stuff done because we had talked earlier. You got the week off, take care of your business, and I'm like, okay, I can relax a little bit tonight.
Yes, you can. But thank you, darling, for helping us in a pinch this evening. We have some amazing women coming on tonight, and I want everybody to get a full experience on this show, and I don't like when things don't go the way they should, and people should be a little bit more professional than what they are. So I appreciate you for that from the bottom of my heart. All right, sweetheart. So we got a lot to talk about. We kind of talked about the COVID-19 update numbers. I was telling everybody that I was watching on the news where a gentleman who's a coach, I guess, had gotten his last shot of the vaccine, and the next day he tested positive for COVID. So my question is that if we're getting this vaccination and everybody gets their full dosages, I guess you can still catch COVID, because I was looking at where the Hawaiian Department of Health had announced 3 cases of COVID, and these were three people that had been fully vaccinated, but they ended up testing positive for COVID. What do you know about that?
Yes, I heard that story as well. And I'm wondering, is it just best to just get tested first and then get the vaccine? Because it seems like people are just hurry on the rush to get the vaccine, and you can get tested positive for COVID. So I don't know what the proper protocol is, because I would think, for me, for instance, I would want to get tested first. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that people are getting the vaccine. I'm glad they're doing what they need to do. But, now that we know that we still could get COVID, that kind of, blows me a little bit to think that, people still would have to be careful, cautious, all of those things to keep from getting COVID. Or I guess the vaccine is keeping us from going to the hospital, keeping us from dying. And so I don't know. I guess COVID is the new flu now, because they were saying there have been no reported cases of the flu. And remember, I said last week, there was a gentleman that said to me in the supermarket, "Whatever happened to the flu?"
This is the new dangerous version of the flu. That's what I think. But needless to say, I had a conversation with a family member earlier. She's, of her and my mom were the same age. They're cousins. And I asked her, I said, "Did you get the shot?" And she said, "Yes." And she said, "I'd rather get the shot than get the virus." Because she's in her 80s.
Okay.
So she asked me, she said, "But I don't judge people who don't get the shot." And I said, "Well, you know what? I'm not judging either, but I'll tell you this. If you don't get the shot, I can respect that. But you better have a damn mask with me when we meet. Because if you don't have a mask, we won't see each other face to face."
Right. Exactly. I agree.
So, everyone has that choice. The Bible says, "Choose this day whom you may serve." Everyone makes those choices. So if you choose not to get the vaccine, I can respect that, but just respect me when I tell you need to put on a damn mask.
Right. Exactly. I'm with you 100%. All right. That makes good sense. All right, then let's continue on. Kay Renee, I had mentioned to the audience that one of our favorite venues, Ravinia, has announced that they will be coming back in July. They will be doing things much differently than they did before. They will not have the pavilion seating, which is, the concert venue. They will now have just lawn seating, but they're going to square it off where people are sitting in certain sections only. So you don't have to rush there to get there early to find your square or your section. You'll prepay it. I'm sure they're going to limit it to so many people versus 100 people joining you in your group. Are you ready to go back to Ravinia? Are you ready for okay, well, we go now, but you wasn't ready for a restaurant 2 weeks ago, but you're ready for Ravinia.
Again, here's the thing. I was sharing this with the same family member today. I want to get vaccinated. I want to be able to have the ability, if I'm able to travel, for instance, I should be able to do that. And that includes outdoor spaces, right? So if it's opportunity, because I love Ravinia. Last time I was at Ravinia, I saw the boss, Lady Boss, Diana Ross. So
yes.
And it would be nice, actually, to have this new normal when it comes to seating at Ravinia. Because when you go, you and I both know it is like sausages when you're trying to squeeze in to see the performer. And now it's like, okay, you can't do that because they have to limit how many people will come to their venue. And I
Right.
love Ravinia. It's so nice when you get, just a group of maybe five, let's say, together.
Yes.
Have that
Yes.
wine, have that cheese, have some little other drinks,
Right.
and just
Yes.
enjoying the ambiance of nature and the
Right.
artists. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I would like to, as I did a few weeks ago. One of my big sisters, she treated her girlfriend to a movie at Block 37 downtown, and she
Yes.
rented the whole theater. And so I enjoyed that, even though I had my mask on. It was nice to just to get out and do something that you normally would do on a Saturday afternoon with girlfriends. So this will
Right.
be another step in getting the new normal, because this is the new normal. What we knew past March 13th, 2020, you can forget that. That's the past. Got to focus on the present.
That's right. I agree with you 100%. You said that very well. Absolutely. Well, here's the funniest thing. For the last couple of years, I've not wanted to sit in the pavilion seats anyway. I've not wanted that being cooped up. The best thing that I've found to do every time I go to Ravinia is I get under one of the big screens.
Mm-hmm.
And that way I'm able to lay me a blanket out. I'm able to lay back, drink, do whatever I want to do. And actually, Alicia Ross as well as Dr. Carol, I met both of those ladies at Ravinia, and it was just because we were sitting in the grass, we were having a great time, chit chatting, doing what we needed to do. And so, I enjoy that part of it, but I'd be curious to see. They probably will only allow you to have 6 people per party. I'm sure people can buy blocks next to each other. Maybe I don't know, but I'm sure they'll do a great job. Now, what's really going to be interesting is the train from the city out there. Like,
Yeah.
right. Because remember, we would be like sardines on that train. So I'm kind of curious to see what they'll do with that. I mean, people are back on airplanes and they're sitting next to each other on these airplanes, but I would just be so interested to see, Right.
No, I agree. So I will let other people, I'll let them test it out before, if I make a decision to do a girls trip for
Mm-hmm.
us to go to Ravinia. But
Right.
no, I'm happy that they're coming back, but it'll be interesting to see what artists are willing. I'm sure there are a lot of artists who will be wanting to perform, but COVID has changed a lot of people's minds, and so
Right.
we'll
Mm-hmm.
see. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, I've given the COVID-19 update numbers. I've given the vaccine numbers. We've talked about the return of Ravinia. Unfortunately, we had a really, really sad story to happen over the weekend in Indianapolis, Indiana. A family reported that a hardworking mother who worked at a beauty supply store, who was working there to be able to support herself and 2 little girls, recently had received her stimulus check, and she had recently received her tax refund check. The father of her youngest baby, I won't say his name because he's a demon, thought that he should get half of the woman's check. When things escalated at the home, and people were saying to him, brother, you need to leave. You don't deserve any of this. Even the woman said, listen, I'll give you $450. Take it and leave, but just stop bothering me. I work to try to support our children. You don't do anything for them. The gentleman ended up killing 4 of the family members. Dead is the 7-year-old daughter, her brother, her mother, and her cousin. He ended up killing 4 family members in the family.
Is he in jail?
Yes, he is. He has been caught. He is in jail. All
Okay.
of that. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And,
But
and
all of this is over a stimulus check and a refund. So now, what do you think about that?
Art, I am a survivor of domestic violence. Okay, let me just put that
Mm-hmm.
out there right now.
Right.
And that's a cautionary tale, women as well as men. Be careful who you deal with, because you just don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Right. Right.
My heart and my prayers go out to her and her family. We're living in some crazy times. I don't know what to make of that. I mean, just when you said that, unfortunately it triggered something in me of situations I had endured, as a survivor, right?
Right.
I hope as he is in jail, his karma will come back very quickly. And that's all I'm going to say on the subject.
It is an unfortunate situation, but it makes me wonder, with people losing their jobs, this pandemic going on as long as it has, $1,400 to some people is good money. I wouldn't turn it down. I'm thankful for whatever we can get, but is $1,400, or in this case, $450 that she was offering him, worth you now spending life in prison? Because here's the deal, as Debbie Green said, jail is not enough for this guy at this point. This guy really,
no, it's not. And here's also the deal: it was never about the money, Art. It's about control.
Right.
That's what it's about. It's about him taking control of her because she is the breadwinner, and unfortunately, his appendage in between is a lot smaller. You understand what I'm saying? It's about control, and it's unfortunate. I'm glad that unfortunately that she's lost precious family members.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she's okay. At least, did the report say, was she hurt in any way during this escalation?
No, she was able to get minor, bruises and wounds, but the crazy piece is, her 35-year-old cousin is dead, her 44-year-old mother is dead, her 23-year-old brother, and her 7-year-old daughter. And I mean, so that's just unbelievable to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Just unbelievable. And just, so I don't know. It's just tragic in many different ways.
It is, but I will say this again. It is a cautionary tale. You need to know who you're dealing with. And unfortunately, in this day and time with economic uncertainty still, even though we're trying to get back on that road, a lot of people feel it's just really tight. A lot of people feel there's no end in sight. And so they will be very desperate.
Right.
And the level of discernment that you must have, it must be like up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, again, as I said, my prayers go out to her and her family. She could never replace those loved ones, but to him, his karma is coming. Because if you're going to take lives, not a life, lives,
plural,
based on $1,400 and maybe whatever she got for her refund check, and typically, unless she doesn't have a checking account, it goes hopefully direct deposit, because there's no way I would have that type of money in a check format. But the fact that she was able to get away from that tells of her courage. But his karma, as I've always said on your show,
is a gangster.
Karma is a very patient gangster.
Yeah, absolutely.
You cannot get away with murder. You may think you can get away with other stuff, but you can never get away with murder. So he will feel the effects of what he has done probably sooner. It will never be reported, I'm sure. Not to us anyway. But his karma he will deal with that karma soon enough.
Yep. Well, all right. Very good. Anything in the news you want to bring up today? Even though you had the day off, you always look between you and Kim. I love you both because you keep me up on the news. You both are like my Walter Cronkites or my Barbara Walters of, letting me know what I've missed in the course of a day. So anything you want to bring up in today's news?
Well, the only thing I did send to you and Kim, Yaphet Kotto made his transition in 81. And he was like, that villain. It's always good to play the hero, but I'm sure a lot of celebrities, I'm sure that you've interviewed, said they're not wrong playing the bad guy, right?
Right.
So he played in James Bond, he played in Alien. I didn't realize how old he was when it was reported.
I didn't either.
He was 81. I said, but he's made his transition. So my prayers go out to his wife, and he had 6 children.
I know. Well, that's not bad, but yeah, he did have 6 children. But 80, I didn't know he was that old either. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it had been a minute since we've seen him, but yeah, absolutely. Well, our good friend Lynn Klein said today is Black Press Day. It's the 194th anniversary of the Freedom Journal. Shout out to Black Press, the Freedom Journal. Yes, very good. Isn't that wonderful? Absolutely.
And we represent that. So shout out to you, Mr. Sim.
Yes, shout out to you, ma'am. We do a good job at it. We run a tight ship around here, and people better respect the tight ship that we run.
Yes,
amen. Thank you. Very good. All right. Well, let's continue on with our news stories today. Well, we kind of had talked yesterday with my guests about minister or gospel singing minister Kirk Franklin and his 30-some-year-old son had a tete-a-tete over the weekend. It has made all the news. It has become a meme. Everybody's been talking about it. And so, people are, clutching their pearls that, Kirk Franklin would cuss his son out. And, Kay Renee, you and I both came from, people that told us, look, children are seen and not heard.
And not heard. That's right. And not only that, here's the thing that people fail to understand. And please hear me, ladies and gents, when I say this. Ministers, even the Pope Francis, because I don't know if you talked about this story about, same-sex marriages, and I hope we talk about that.
I know.
They're human. We're spiritual beings, but we have human experiences, right?
Right.
And above all things, Kirk Franklin is what? He's a father.
Right.
Point blank.
Right.
And I said, I made a post yesterday in your show that unfortunately he was disrespectful, point blank. I don't care how old you get in this world. You are not too old for your parents, if they have any breath in their body, to turn you over and spank the snot out of you. Because as my mother always told me, when I would just smell my own stuff, if you know what I'm saying, she would say in just a very soft voice, Art, if my mother could be channeled right now, Renee, I brought you in this world and I will take you out.
I've heard it. I've been there. I've been under that rule, that all of that. But we said yesterday with both of the therapists, and by the way, thank you to both of the therapists that was here yesterday. Dr. Wanda Parker, we appreciate you so much. And psychiatric nurse practitioner with his own practice. He's amazing, Mr. Alan Tony Amberg. Great job last night talking about the royal family. So we appreciate you guys for being here. But Kay Renee, and you watched last night's show because I saw your comments. But here's the deal. When you figure out your parent might be on some foolishness or might be, slick or might have something going on, sometimes you might have to, get at that parent. It's heartbreaking, but it does happen. Now, I fought the son for recording his dad and sharing the recording. That's the deceitful part. That's the deceitful part.
And here's the thing, Art. I'm sure we're both at a certain age where my father, who will on Saturday will celebrate his 83rd heavenly birthday, which I will honor I always honor my parents with love. But my father he could have been crazy because he was a recovering alcoholic. Okay, he made no mistakes about that. And there were times when he got a little off the chart, and I did kind of say, "Daddy, now what the hell's going on?"
Right.
And he looked at me and I said, okay, let me tone it down a bit.
Right.
And he appreciated, that was one thing about both of my parents. We respected each other's space and they allowed me to express my opinions as they expressed theirs. Right. So, but I do fault his son for recording that. That's, if you're going to record it, don't put it out there. Because if you air your dirty laundry as he did, don't think there's going to be a backlash, because unfortunately, there's a lot of us who are a lot older than his son didn't take kindly of that. I think he could have handled it a different way, but Dr. Wanda said a very poignant point that unfortunately their relationship is fractured. So he felt he did that to garner attention. Well, he got it. Maybe not in the way that he wanted attention, but he got it. And I hope from this incident that both of them will come together and say, look, we got some healing to do. What is it that's the problem here? I will always love you. You are my son. But what is it here? And I think we need to handle this privately between the two of us and not with social media. And that's unfortunately the caveat I have with some millennials. They like to just put everything out there, and certain things you just got to keep close to the chest.
Right. Because keep in mind, when we were growing up, we didn't have any of these social media platforms. We you know, the biggest thing when you and I were of a certain age was, you know, people, I'm gonna call the Department of Children and Family Services on you.
Exactly.
DCF, right. That was the threat back then. And then I guess a lot of you all start calling or whatever the case may be. But we never had this expression. You took your butt to your room, go to bed, and that's it. And so I don't know. Things are very different now. And as somebody just said, keep in mind, this young man is 33 years old. So that's a grown son. So that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Where him and that son, it's probably a little bit more with that. I mean, I had a strained relationship with my father in older years that, you know, it was not repairable. But, you know, at least I don't think I would ever put the argument with my father and I out in the public. That's the disrespect. Right. I'm sure our media maven who's coming on in a little bit will be able to tell us how to spin that. You know what I'm saying? Because
that was the only thing I said. He was disrespected, regardless of what your parents do at the end, unless they've done something very traumatic. And you know what I say about traumatic. But even then, there has to be a level of forgiveness. Because, you know, forgiveness is never about the other person. It's about you. Right. At the end of the day. So whatever Kirk Franklin has done to him to cause this major rift, there's got to be some forgiveness.
Yes,
on both
absolutely.
sides.
Yes,
so
I
I'm
agree.
That this incident, this will be a teaching moment, not only for them, but for all of us. Don't air your dirty laundry with family, not with your parents. Because that can come back to bite you. Because see, that 33-year-old may have a child one day. And as I just said earlier, what did I say, Art? Karma is a very patient gangster.
Yes, it is. Yes.
That he did to his father can come boomerang back to his little behind.
Yes,
and he would like that.
Right. All right. Well, with that being said, let me say this real quick to you guys before we move on to our next guest. For those of you all that want to be, you know, super Christians and, you know, why would Kirk Franklin cuss his son out and all of that? Okay. So first of all, nowhere in the Bible mentions cussing or cursing. There you can be cursed, but nothing in the Bible says bad, you know, words or any of those things. You won't find it in Hebrew, Greek, Arabic. You won't find it in any of those languages in the Bible about cussing itself. And everybody, people are human. You bump your toe in the middle of the night. What is the first thing that comes out of your mouth? Matter of fact, when children are small and they cuss, we think it's cute and be like, oh, don't say that again, you know? So yeah, it's interesting to say the least. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. We apologize for the very bumpy takeoff we had this evening, but always to help save the day is that amazing young lady. Look, I got it right. Sitting over there, Miss Kay Renee, who is our co-host normally, but she had the week off. Our original co-host had some troubles, and so we were able to get Kay Renee to pop in. So she's a true hero. She's a shero, and it's Women's History Month, and we're honoring incredible women. So, Kay Renee, you fall right in line with that. But our first guest this evening, I am so honored to have her here with us tonight. She's an amazing person, first of all. She has just great energy, just a generous spirit about herself. Let me give you guys a little bit about her background. She is the owner of Mekky Media Relations, a Chicago-based boutique PR firm. 2020 was a year of success and growth in the industry, and she is a proven leader, very new to this, Kate Renee, just like many of us who are trying new things and moving about in our careers in life. And she's here tonight to talk to us. She's also an author, a mom, and she'll be celebrating a birthday in a couple of days. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the iconic Miss Michelle Mekky.
Wow. What a fabulous intro. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight.
Hi,
We
Michelle.
love you.
How are
Hi.
you?
Great to meet you. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You
I
are
am
a true, you are a true diva. And Art didn't tell you, I am the queen of acronyms. So diva stands for determined, intelligent, vivacious, and accomplished. So you are truly that.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. It's hard to hear like those words about myself because, you know, we're our own worst enemy. But as I'm entering my next phase of life now, which I will soon reveal the age of, I'm determined to like shed the doubt, you know, like celebrate the rock stars that we are. It is not worth, you know, questioning ourselves anymore. Like this is it. The time starts now, right?
Very good. Well, we're honoring, you know, women the entire month of March. And tonight you're one of our honorees this evening because I've watched your career over the years. And just like many of us, you started off in the media industry, working a regular job. And so please share with us your backstory, how you created your company. And here's the deal. I noticed that during this pandemic, you've had growth. You've been actually employing people, looking for people, all of that. I'm so proud of you. Please talk to us and tell us what it's all about.
Thank you so much, Art. You know, I can't even believe I've been able to hire during this pandemic. And back in March when this all hit, my birthday got canceled, you know, and I went into panic with my company because I've only been doing this now, like you said, hasn't been that long. It's been now almost 5 years. Which everyone told me if I get to 5 years, then I made it as a new business. And so I'm excited that time is coming this June. But yeah, I've hired 4 people actually since the start of the pandemic, and we're hiring now. And I just feel so grateful for that. And I have to say it's been with a ton of hard work for sure. Like I feel like that's what my life motto really is. I've just worked my butt off since I was 13 years old, you know, always in jobs, trying to make money, really looking at my father who set that example for me. But, you know, we didn't come from much. My parents were immigrants, and I really just decided my path in high school. I had a great teacher who told me to go for the journalism, to go into journalism and write for the high school newspaper. And I just loved it. And then my path went from there on to, I chose, you know, only the most expensive college, Northwestern, and just.
Of course.
I mean, I had to make my dad even more stressed, you know.
Yes.
But I also like back then went to the library to get scholarships and research and paid my way through college. And when I got out, you know, I wanted to be in TV. That's really what my dream was. And I got my start at Fox in Chicago. And, you know, from there had an amazing career of 12 years. You know, I started working in the middle of the night, which wasn't exactly what I anticipated, but, you know, it was just incredible experience. And from there, ended up running 3 different agencies and working on amazing teams there. And then a couple of crazy things happened along the way. You know, like I always say, you never know what life's going to bring you, right? And it's how you recover from it, really, that makes that matters. And so I was struck with cancer out of nowhere. I lost a job, and those 2 things I think really got me to where I am today.
Wow. You know, Michelle, I can actually see you on the anchor desk. And so I'm surprised. No, I could. I've always thought that you have the look, the personality. Had you ever thought about going in that direction on the anchor? Well, I mean, now you're a superstar, but I mean, before, had you ever thought about going on the anchor desk ever?
I did. That was my true dream. I mean, I really did want to be in front of the camera, and I lost my confidence. You know, I graduated, I went on a few job interviews, and I gave up. I didn't think I was pretty enough. I didn't think I was talented enough. You know, I just didn't, I know. And I talk about that so publicly now because I feel like there's a lesson there for people that are out there that might have the same insecurities I did. And so, I ended up as a producer. I ended up behind the camera, but I eventually, found my way much later in life, but I'm doing it. I'm out there on social media, I'm public speaking, I'm teaching.
Yes,
now.
you are.
So I'm on with you, so I feel like I'm getting my excitement and passion finally becoming a reality.
And remember, Michelle, you are a diva. Remember that acronym. Whenever you get down, you better think that you are determined, intelligent, vivacious, and accomplished. Don't ever forget that.
I love that. I'm writing that down, and I'm going to remember that on a daily basis, because I love that. And that's what we need to do. We need to remind ourselves the rock stars that we really are. And right. I regret, having that lack of confidence. And, my father's biggest dream for me was to be in front of the camera. And unfortunately, I lost him so long ago, and he never got to see the confidence come to me. But it took a lot of years of working on it to get there. It did.
Well, he's with you, dear. We're a daddy's girl. I can tell. You and I both are daddy's girls, and they're watching us. As long as you're able to talk about him, he is right here in your heart. Don't forget.
Thank you for saying that. I have my whole family watching this right now, so I'm sure my mom is very happy to hear you say that.
Hey. Well, Michelle, I want to talk to you about, the challenges of starting your own agency. Now more than ever, people are starting their own. I started my own during this pivot. Everybody wants to start their own, and I think now is just the most perfect time ever. But can you help us to understand what are some of the highs and what are some of the lows of starting your own agency?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, I can't even believe I did it, to be honest with you. But there's so many of my friends and people that I know in the industry who are doing it, and I'm proof that it can be done. You don't need $1 million of investors. You don't need a lot of fancy equipment. You need a laptop, and you need your brain, and you need a little guts to really jump off the cliff, like I say, into entrepreneurship. And, I was in a place in my life where I had to make a decision quickly. We had bills to pay, and it was like either go get another job or start my own. And I have to say there are a couple people in my life who really pushed me. So if you have people around you who really love you and care about you and maybe can see the star power that you can't see in yourself, it was my husband who looked at me right away as soon as I walked home. I mean, I got home after losing that job and said, "You're starting your own business. You're starting your own business." And he said it 7 days straight. And I kept telling him to shut up. There's no way. Are you crazy? I can't do it. We got to make money, and he finally talked me into even just going on GoDaddy and getting MekkyMedia.com, which I thought sounded great. It's not that creative, but it had a good.
It's good. It's you. It is you. Whatever.
I know.
It's worldwide now. Look,
that's right.
Now, so yes.
Crazy. And then I had a friend, really a mentor of mine who I went to see, and I really struggled with the decision. And she's like, "Michelle," she shook me, she really shook me. And she's like, "What is wrong with you? Like, why can't you see how amazing you are? Is it money that you need?" And I said, "Well, don't you need money to start a company, And I thought about a couple of things I need in PR. And she literally took out her checkbook, wrote me a $10,000 check and said, "This is a loan. Go start your business. It's a loan, So when I walked out with holding a check at her house from her house, I was crying. And I said, "All right, if somebody believes in me that much, let me just go do this."
Yes.
I'm proud to say I paid her back 1 year later. So
wow. I think that's what everybody needs, is that somebody to believe in them.
You do.
Mm-hmm. Before you came on the show, we were just talking about a horrific story that had happened in Indianapolis where, a young man ended up killing a family over a stimulus check. And, this world, people are struggling, and it's good to hear people of all races say struggling, trying to pay bills, staying afloat. And so what gives you that energy to continue to just keep thriving and encouraging others? Because everyone who works for you, they really do look up to you as a leader, and I think they consider you like a friend as well.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge in leadership, because I love to make friends with everyone around me and be their buddy more than their boss. But I know that I need to lead them, and I need to be tough sometimes. And because I know how I want the job done, right? I have my way and my views and my strategies and my approach. So, people who work for me learn that, but then I also very much respect other people's opinions and know that I'm not perfect and I don't have all the answers. And, I bring in people now from all different backgrounds and all different levels because I want that around me. And that really propelled me forward. I felt like I could only go so far by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting here in it was my dining room at the time, but now it's my office. We changed a few things, but I was sitting here in my dining room and I had some clients, but I really missed the camaraderie of having people around me. And that, of course, now none of us are working together. We're all working from home, but we have, tools in place to really connect with each other and see each other, just like you guys are doing, But to answer your original question, what drives me, I think I learned the value of hard work from my father, who, was in a job, electrician. He struggled. He hated what he did. He was not a happy person all those years ago. And I remember that clearly. And I said to myself, I'm never going to let that happen to me. Like, I need to just work as hard as I can to just, achieve that freedom that I want and that happiness in my life. And, it didn't come easy, of course, but I think I remember those days often. Right. And know that, what I've been able to get clients by myself. My first retainer check in the mailbox, I nearly passed out. I couldn't believe people were paying me to do work that I love, and right. I thought, okay, I must be onto something. So now I have all of these people that I'm paying on my shoulders. I have all these clients that I think about and that I'm responsible for and their businesses. And, it's a heavy load, which can be very stressful, but I think it gives me that fire to keep going. Like, I'm going to fight for them and really do a killer job because they rely on me.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that I have to give you credit for, and Kay Renee, I'm going to turn it over to you to pop a few of your questions in, is that you really do take care of media. Your organization does a lot of outreach work, a lot of working with wonderful organizations. I was actually looking through my photo timeline last year. The last gala I attended before the shutdown of the country, we were all together at the Radisson Blu. And so, yes. Just that type of work. And so how do you even get your clients? How do they come to you? Is it word of mouth or how does it work?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I remember that, Art, and I miss those days of us being able to really celebrate together at galas and fundraisers. And I know we'll eventually get back to it. But, I really feel a lot of it is the universe that sort of just put those great organizations in my path. Susan G. Komen Chicago was my first nonprofit, and I'm a cancer survivor, and I felt very drawn to that. And so I was really putting that, vibe out there into the universe that those are the organizations that I loved working for. Just to tell stories of people that really need support and need help, and media and PR can truly impact them if you tell their stories in the right way. So all of these organizations, I started coming to me, and I think it was through word of mouth, like you said. I totally underestimated that I have been around now almost 50 years of life. And it's a big network. It's a big network I have.
What? Almost 50 years.
Welcome to the club, my love.
You know what? Oh, thank you so much, Kay Renee. I know that my best years are coming. I'm just trying to it's just a little bit I'm a little bit in shock that I've been around that long, but I know I'm at my best, truly. Like I'm, I don't have that self-doubt anymore. I finally shed it and feel like that's got to lead to an amazing decade ahead.
Oh, I love that. I really do. Kay Renee, I'm sure you have a couple of questions for our guest this evening.
Well, Michelle, hopefully we can keep in touch because
I would love that.
You are inspiring to me. The fact that you are a cancer survivor. No, you're a cancer thriver. Let's put it out there.
Right. That's right.
I have a two-part question. What do you do to make sure that you love some Michelle? That's one. Besides your father, besides your king, your husband, who inspires Michelle Mekky to be the absolute best?
Oh, and wait, let me throw this in before she answers. And she's the mom to two amazing, well, I won't say children, young adults now.
I know, they're teenagers.
They are both the bombdiggity.com. So yes, that's a good question, Kay Renee. Yes, go ahead, Michelle.
I wish I could hug you right now, I swear. So it's interesting you asked me about like self-care, because I was terrible at that pretty much my whole life. And I think finally I've gotten it where I'm balanced. And I believe that that is from having my own business, being my own boss, knowing that at the end of the day, I can decide when the workday ends. I can fit in a workout whenever I need to fit it in. I can eat healthy, and you think that having cancer, I always say, like, I thought I'd wake up and say, that's it, I'm a vegan, I'm going to be a yogi, I'm going to stop stressing, and we just don't do that if you have to go back to work and you have kids to support, and, real life, like, definitely settled in. And so I had to take more control over myself and figure out how to take care of myself. And so, I've done a lot of work in that area. I take hot baths a lot, sometimes first thing in the morning, which I know is crazy, but it really calms me down. I meditate. I've learned ways to really take care of my health. And given this pandemic and everything we're seeing, it's more important than ever. And so I also try to set the example now for my team, because back when I was working my butt off and I was diagnosed, people that worked with me looked at me and said, Michelle, you're going to kill yourself. Like, you can't work all the time. And I realized that I'm setting the example now for these young people and how they need to live their life. And so I try to give them flexibility and freedom. And we do wellness events, and I bring in speakers just to sort of keep that vibe going for myself too. It feels really good now to be able to provide that for other people.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
And then who is, besides your dad, your angel, because that's where he is, and I'm sure your mom, as well as your king, your husband, who inspires you to be the best that you can be?
That's such a great question. It's hard to answer. My mom has been also a rock for me. She's been, living on her own now for, gosh, I think it's been 18 years since I lost my father. And, and she's just always smiling and bubbly and happy as well. And a great example for me. And so, she inspires me. And then, of course, I look to superstars like Jennifer Lopez, who is 51 now, and seems to look amazing from a health and wellness perspective, right? But then, I'm inspired by the heroes, that are among us too. People like Michelle Obama, Oprah. I look to those people as mentors, people that I follow on social media and learn from on a daily basis. So, when I have time to actually sit down for a second and read and watch and take it in, I would say that's who comes to mind.
Wow. Well, that is actually really beautiful. Everything you just said really is the essence of what you've always been about since I've met you. I want to congratulate you on the fact that you are a co-author, a contributing author to a new book, Missions Matter. World's leading entrepreneurs reveal the top tips and so you to success, and you did a chapter, how to turn life challenges into gifts. And Kay Renee and I both would love to just get a nugget of what she's Karen's nuggets. Let's say a bite of what you would tell us. Yeah, since she's the nugget, you're going to be the bite of what you would tell us on how to turn life challenges into gifts.
Well, first of all, am I the best PR person or what? I mean, this is what I teach my clients. You got to have the book, right?
That's right. That's right. Be ready. Be ready.
These a great organization reached out to me and asked me to contribute to a book on women in leadership. And so there's 18 other women who each did a chapter in the book. And I truly felt like at this point in my life, I'm trying to get perspective, right? And I'm looking back and I'm learning from the traumatic experiences I've had in my life, from obviously being told that I had ovarian cancer, having a major hysterectomy and surgery, and not knowing what the prognosis was going to be. Luckily, it was only stage 1 and I caught it early and it was a miracle. And then, losing a job really shook me as well, and having to make decisions fast about supporting my family. And I think looking back, knowing how happy I am now that I took the leap, I took the risks, I feel like those are my life challenges that I now have recovered from, or I'm still recovering from, right? Mm-hmm. So I think, my best advice is really look back and see what you can learn from those moments. I learned about self-care after being diagnosed with cancer. I learned that I can't be a workaholic, I mean, after losing a job, I thought to myself, gosh, maybe that wasn't the place for me. Maybe I did need to do something bigger and greater. And so doing a lot of self-reflection has really helped me, kind of deal with those things and feel the pain that I felt, but learn to overcome it. And also, just like you said earlier, like the people around me, I think I'm so grateful for those that have, stayed by my side, my friends that are still with me today, people that tell me, Michelle, get over it. You're great. You can do it. I think that's helped me manage some of the tougher times in my life.
Very good.
I hope that taught you a little. You'll have to get my book for the rest.
That's right. That was great. So I want to find out from you. We've had a couple of stories in the media recently. Of course, the interview with Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and then gospel singer Kirk Franklin had an incident this weekend with his 33-year-old son. How do you help people to spin these type of situations? What is just a tidbit of what you'd like to tell us about how we should spin these type of things?
Yeah, I do this kind of stuff all the time with clients, and bad things happen, mistakes happen, wrong messages get interpreted in the wrong way, and how do you really get ahead of that? And obviously that Harry and Meghan interview was unreal. Right. And I love Oprah, and there's nobody better to interview them than Oprah, right? But I can't believe the reaction to it. I've been at the gym with some of the moms in the neighborhood who are like, she's a liar. She's a liar. She's not telling the truth. And I'm thinking, wow, like I'm amazed at the strong emotions that it's really brought out in people. And I know I'm a huge royal watcher and fan as well. So, I would just say things like being like connecting with the emotion of the story, right? So, whether you felt for them or doubt them, now's the time where they need to really be out there more, actually, and not go into hiding after doing the one interview. We advise really be yourself, be authentic, show emotion around, the incident, and really, know that, like you said earlier, Kay Renee, when you're dealing with family, that can really come back to bite you. And us as parents want to see them, mend fences, right? And so think about, what's the next step, and focus more on, the nonprofits that they are affiliated with, rather than the Hollywood-ish, vibe that came off to some people from that interview. So it takes a lot of thinking and really analyzing the situation. But for me, it's always been go back to your values and authenticity. Really don't be afraid to show who you truly are. And that's part of what I do, just by talking about my own issues, right? And not pretending like I'm perfect. It's been a journey for all of us.
Michelle, you remind me of one of my favorite characters, Miss Karen Washington, Olivia Pope.
I love her.
I have to say, we have our own Olivia Pope here in Chicago. So
well, I have a great suit jacket that I put on tonight instead of my usual sweats. That one of my clients, actually BKS Custom Clothiers, I'll give her a shout out. She gave me, and it's been my power jacket, and that's my Olivia Pope moment. It's like when I put this jacket on.
When I see that blue jacket, I know that's your alter ego. That's your alter ego.
I'm trying to feel like I got it together when I put this on,
That's
very good. Very good. Okay, Renee, anything else in closing you want to say to our wonderful guest tonight?
Well, here's the wonderful thing, Art. I was supposed to be off tonight, Michelle. Art calls me and said, "Need you on." And I'm like, I'm here, and here I am talking to a shero here, Miss Michelle. So I am being blessed right here, right now.
You know what? That's amazing. But you know what? We teach our clients, you never know. You always got to be ready. Like, you might get the phone call that you got to be on, and if when you hire PR, like, that's it. No running away from the camera. It's time to step up. So
Well, let me tell you what was so funny, Michelle. I had already, not to cut you off, Kay Renee, I had started the show. I'm a one-man operation. So I'm sitting there trying to text her, talk to the audience, try to figure out what's going on. And so here's the funniest thing. She didn't even get the rundown of who the guests are. She saw the advertisement, but she didn't. And so I was like, oh, I appreciate you for being a pro. So we've got to give her a gold star for tonight.
You are a pro. You are a pro. Thank you so much. You did a great interview. You didn't even know me.
Well, here's the thing. I've always learned because art gets on me, but I am a Dolphin. I went to Whitney M. Young High School.
Oh,
and
nice.
He said it's best to be prepared with no opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared.
That's right.
Always I am prepared. And all I want to say to you is, Michelle, keep rising, keep doing what you're doing. Your life is the only Bible that someone else is reading, and someone reads your Bible each and every day. Yeah. And like I said, whenever you need anything, you can always give me a call. So you
and I are definitely having lunch as soon as we can. I really enjoyed meeting you. And Art, I just need to hug you.
That's what I do. I'm a conduit. I'm a muse. This is what I was born to do, is put great people together. I tell people I would do this in the middle of the jungle if I had to. Long as I have Wi-Fi and great people to talk to, this is what the world should be about. Beautiful people connecting, helping each other. You'd be surprised the changes we can make in this world if we all just humbled ourselves, sit down and have a powwow and love on each other. I just think it's the most important thing that we could do. I just do.
So true. And I'm trying to teach my kids that. And to really, start getting their network together, right? I mean, I introduce them to people I know who want to help them just because they know them from social media, and I'm really trying to teach them about human connection. It's so important.
Absolutely. Before we let you run real quick, give everybody a closing, tell them how they can find you. I put your website up there. Anything that you want to say to the audience before we end your interview, because this has been really amazing and quite the honor to have you here tonight.
I just want to say, and for anybody out there that needs advice, needs some guidance, needs a little boost of confidence, feel free to reach out to me on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm on all the platforms, or mekkymedia.com. I'd love to hear from you. It's been so great to do your show, Chat Daddy. I'm just a giant fan.
Well, no, I appreciate
it. And before I let you go, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Okay.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Happy birthday, Michelle. Yay! Look, Michelle, now you've had a soulful birthday party. You're right. Now you've had You've had a soulful birthday party. Only thing was missing was hot dogs, a cake, and some ice cream. Yes. Yes, you've had a good old-fashioned soulful birthday. We love you,
God. I feel like I'm going to keep dancing after I go.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for our guest this evening, the fabulous Ms. Michelle Mekky Media, a wonderful boutique PR, media firm here in Chicago. They do it all. Great staff. I love everybody who's on her team.
They love you.
Great. Yes, I love everybody on your team. And we thank her for being here tonight. We wish you the best. Tell everybody I said hello. And hopefully we can all do something real soon together. I miss you guys so much. Look, I miss dressing up. I miss helping organizations. I miss all of that. So
I know.
Yes.
Well, we miss you too. We miss you too. And I really can't thank you enough for this.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the birthday girl, but she's really the queen of all media. The one and only Miss Michelle Mekky. Good night. We love you. Good night. Bye. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, that was amazing. I love her. See, I told you that's what this is all about. Kay Renee, wasn't that great? That was good.
Oh my goodness. I just felt her energy just you know, again, you blessed me. Art, as I said, I had no idea you were like, I need you. I'm like, done. Just
Right, right, yeah.
give me 7 minutes.
Right. Yeah. You was like, give me 7 minutes. I was like, now that's what I'm talking about. That's when you tell people, right. Most people be like, man, I can't do this tonight. You was like, give me 7 minutes. Look, if you had to drive to a station, you would have never made it to a station that quick. You know what I'm saying? So look at how God works all this out. Right. You was like, honey, give me 7 minutes. Right.
And 7 means completion. So I was like, give me 7 minutes.
That's right. And you did it in 7 minutes. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Can you believe spring will start this Saturday, the 20th, if I'm not mistaken? Hopefully we won't have any more snowstorms, but you guys do know it does snow in April. We've heard it. Prince talked about it in a song, all of that. As we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, our co-host tonight, this young lady had the week off, actually the evening off, but she was able to fill in. We had a technical difficulty with our guest earlier this evening. We do apologize for those difficulties. Our next guest this evening is a dynamo, a phenomenon, a powerhouse. I was looking through her pictures, and if nothing else, a fashion model. But here's the deal. She's actually a brainiac. This woman is a genius. She really is. And she's out to empower women about their worth. She does women empowerment seminars, coaching, everything that you need to know to be a much better woman. And here's the deal. I'm going to pay attention so I can be a much better man, because I think whatever the advice is, it helps all people. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the phenomenal Miss Erica Spratley. Yay! Hello there.
Hi. How are y'all doing?
How you doing? How you fabulous glasses? How you doing?
I am amazing. Thank you so much for that introduction. I eat too much to be a model, though.
That's all right. That's all. Look, baby. Have you been on TikTok lately? They don't care on TikTok, right? Be you. Be you. I just know you fabulous. I've seen all your pictures. I've seen your work. And the beautiful part about this is that you are really committed to helping women know their worth. Tell us all about yourself. Introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll get into our conversation.
Thank you. So my name is Erica Spratley, and I am the Chief Power Officer and founder of Confident Career Woman. And what I do with women is I work with them one-on-one and provide coaching that helps them in 3 ways. The first way is through positioning. I want to make sure that they are visible in the workplace and leveraging strategies that helps them achieve their career goals. The second way that I assist them is with people. That's managing conflict, making sure that they are networking. It's one thing to have the performance, but you also need the people to succeed professionally. And then it's promotion. So I encourage women to self-promote, to self-advocate. And then, of course, that results in landing the promotion. In addition to that, I have an online course platform, because I can't be available 24/7, that also equips, empowers, and encourages women for professional success.
Wow. So all of that is interesting, but now I have questions. I do. Okay, Renee, I know you have a million questions. I'm ladies first. Go ahead, Kay Renee.
I just like the fact what she said? She said, I am Chief Power Officer, not Chief Executive, Chief Power. So that just lets you know how powerful she is, and she already knows her worth by saying she's Chief Power Officer. I had never heard that before until now, Miss Erica. So thank you for confirmation and validation.
Thank you so much. It's so interesting. My book, Confident Career Woman, the very first power principle starts with letting women know that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And of course, that's not just for women, right? It's for everyone. But when you know that and you believe that, you don't have to play in this realm of perfection. You know that you are good enough. That's not to say that you don't have weaknesses or things that need to be improved upon, but you can still be powerful right where you are.
Amen.
Interesting.
Amen.
So I was reading in the notes where it was saying that women of other colors that are not black and brown, like, everybody on this conversation, they tend to get the raise, they tend to get the promotion, they
Mhm.
tend to be looked upon more favorable. And the way I look at this, we are in 2021, and you
Hmm.
mean to tell me this is still a problem, and especially for our sisters that are black and brown?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's a major problem. So much so, Lean In just released a study, the state of Black women in corporate America. And it literally has the word introduction. And under that, it says the workplace is worse for Black women. And so, what you have, of course, is Black women not being afforded the opportunities that other people have in terms of access to resources, access to what they may call hot jobs, visible assignments, stretch opportunities. And then, of course, we have Equal Pay Day coming up, which is Wednesday, the 24th, where
Mhm.
women are making 82 cents on the dollar in comparison to men. But on August 3rd, it's Black women's Equal Pay Day, where Black
Yeah.
women are making 63 cents in
Okay.
comparison to the men.
Hmm.
So what can we do to even the playing field? I mean, of course, we're going through a pandemic. Everybody is suffering and hurting right now. But once this world opens back up, I had put a thing on my social media. Everybody's so giddy over $1,400. Don't get me wrong. Lord knows I'll take it. I'm not going to leave it on the table. But $1,400 is really nothing when you can make a great income on a job being you. And that's where you come in, correct?
Yes, that is where I come in to make sure that women are showing up authentically, right? That's not to say that you sacrifice professionalism, but even though people are really excited about extra money, I am too. It could be $14. It doesn't have to be 1,400. That's
Right,
more than what I
right,
had.
right.
But
Mhm.
but I will say this, right? One thing that we have to be mindful of too with the pandemic, even though we've heard about the astronomical numbers around unemployment, is that it opened us up to opportunities that we may not have had access to otherwise. So what that looks like is if I wanted to work for a company in California, now they have remote opportunities that I probably wouldn't have applied for before. And in order for us to level the playing field, we have to make sure that we are open to doing things differently. And that includes marketing ourselves from a transferable skill perspective, not just from a title or an industry where we've worked previously. So,
Mhm.
my story is I was in retail for 18 years. And I wanted to be able to go to church on Sundays and could not do that. So I strategically planned my exit. I took all the money out of my 401k, put my resume online, gave them a 6 week notice, and I went on vacation. And while I was on vacation, a recruiter from then Wachovia Bank contacted me and said, "We'd like to talk to you about two roles." And I didn't think it was legitimate because I didn't think I was qualified to work for a bank. But I'd positioned my transferable skills around leadership, sales, customer service, those things that are required for a branch manager. And I went into banking. I'd never worked in the field before, and I went in as a branch manager. So we have to start thinking differently about our
Mhm.
marketplace value and marketing ourselves so that we're expanding our options and increasing salary.
I love it. K Renee, oh my God. Look, K Renee is lost. I think, look, anybody got any smelling salt? I done had two women on here. Right. And this was her night off. Keep in mind, this was her night off. Right. It was supposed to be two guys interviewing you women tonight. And look,
Wow.
I know you speechless, K Renee. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw all this
No,
power on you
you know,
tonight.
no, it's just validation and confirmation, Erica, because I've been in the corporate arena. Sometimes I've been the only African American, and 'cause my background is audit and compliance. And
Hmm.
let me just say this off the bat. I wish I had had you then, because then
Yeah.
I could have leveraged myself a little bit differently. So what you're speaking, see, when truth is hit you at the face, you look a little differently. So that's what you see, ladies and gents, because truth has hit me in the face because she is speaking truth. So that's all I got to say. I'm giving you confirmation and validation right now. Keep going.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Keep going. Right. Keep
Keep
going.
going.
Right. I can't believe you speechless, but when it's the truth, it does. You could tell everything that she was saying to you. It was hit, right. And I get that. So I appreciate you for that. Erica, how much more fabulous can you be? So continue. We're still listening. Right. We're still listening.
Well, and I think a part of it too, though, in all honesty, just based on what I've experienced and what friends have experienced, and even some of my clients, is we were taught to get a job, which is very different from managing a career.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't get a mentor until I was in my 30s, but nobody was talking about mentorship where I was from.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it comes to, salary negotiation, we're talking about, equal pay for equal work. I didn't even know you could negotiate salary early in my career. So here I am behind the eight ball again. I didn't have the support. I didn't know I could negotiate salary. I was just happy to be there. And then, of
Mm-hmm.
course, when you don't know how to navigate culture, right, there's the intranet and then there are the invisible rules, which
Yes.
is very different. We don't talk about that enough. And I mentioned earlier, too, another aspect of it is a lot of times we as women are so used to doing it all. We have this Superwoman syndrome. We're not asking for help when we need it the most, and we're not surrounding ourselves with people who can help us. Um, I actually had a young lady come to me, and she told me that the reason she wasn't being promoted is because a white colleague was getting the opportunities that she, quite frankly, wasn't being offered, and she felt that she deserved it. And so I didn't want to dismiss what she was saying because that's her truth. But my job also as a coach is to make sure that we have done everything that we can that's within our control. And so I asked her, I said, so who have you told that you want to be promoted? She hadn't told anyone. She hadn't told anyone who makes the decisions. She hadn't told anyone who was influential enough to advocate for her in doors that she couldn't access. And so there are just these nuances that a lot of us still don't know in 2021 that are stopping us from succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, Renee, are you okay? Do I need to do
Because
you need to disappear right now?
no, because what she's saying is true. Because I was in a scenario where I knew the influencers. I approached my former director and asked, "What do I need to do to get promoted?" And you know what
Mhm.
he said to me, Miss
Oh,
Erica?
what do you say?
You will always be in this position. Because I said, "What do I need to do to get to the next level?" He didn't want me to be at the next level. So I guess I have this is a question. When you know the nuances and when you know you try to play that navigating game, and when you get just cut off, how do you bounce back?
I almost took my earrings off, but I remembered I'm at work and this is live.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Look, we
How do
that
you
type of
bounce?
show. We that type of
How do
show.
you,
Right.
how
Yeah, it
do
might be
you
other shows on this show. We that type of show. We yeah.
how do you? Because that happened to me.
Hey, Renee.
I asked. I said, "Look," and did everything above and beyond the call of duty. And I asked him outright, "Look, I want to get to this level. What do I need to do?" He said, "Well, that will never happen because you're gonna be right here." And I was like, "Oh, okay,
And the response in your mind is, I'm going to be right here until my next door opens or until I decide that it's time for me to go. We should always have options. We
right."
should always be able to reach out to someone and say, hey, what's going on in your organization? Hey, here's my resume. If you know of anything that comes open that I might be interested in, let me know and I'll do the same for you. Because at the end of the day, you still have options. And if he's telling you that this is your ceiling, there is no ceiling for you. This is just an opportunity, and this season is now up, and it's time for you to consider your next and move on because they are not the only employer. And I tell my clients all the time, you don't have to treat this like a marriage. This is a date.
Right.
Today.
Mm.
You
Right.
don't have to stay here forever till
Right.
death do you part.
Right.
Amen.
Mm,
Right.
We
Right.
and trust me, I divorced very shortly there.
good for you,
I love it. I
as you
love it.
should.
So, what do you have on the horizon? What do you have coming up? Especially with the 24th being Equal Pay Day, moving forward with 21 now, we're opening back up and things like that. What advice would you want to give to people to get back out here and start looking for employment and jobs? And I was just looking on the news today where they were recommending other places people move to now that, this pandemic has changed everything. As you said, working remotely. What advice would you want to give to get back out here?
I would tell people to not play small, but to have clarity around what it is you want. And when I
Exactly.
say what it is you want, it's who you want to work for, what you want to do, how much money you want to make. And don't just think about 2021, think about long term. So you could do some research and Google, right? The fastest growing jobs. What are the hottest industries? What does it take for you to land a job in that industry? Because I heard something really interesting last year at the start of the pandemic, and someone said jobs are quickly being created and eliminated. So the job that you may have been working in may be on its last leg. So even though you are looking for something now, you may not want to box yourself in and say, this is what I've always done. So this is what I'm going to do. I will also recommend make sure your interviewing skills are stellar. They are not looking for average talent, so you cannot afford to have an average interview. And interviewing is a language that we don't speak day to day. When someone says, how was your day? You're not like, funny you should ask. I increased efficiency by 15%. It's not a it's not a language that we use day to
Right.
day, but
Right.
yet you're expected to speak it. And in many of our communities, we're not even taught how to do it. So here is this skill and this language that you're expected to leverage to secure and sustain employment, but yet you don't practice it or you don't speak it every day. I actually created a course, one of my free courses. It's how to communicate with confidence and credibility. And that's what it is. It's an interview preparation course to make sure that people are clear around what it takes to have an effective resume, what it takes for you to answer background questions, because the way you answer, tell me about yourself, is not the way you answer, tell me about a complex problem you solved. And I didn't
Hmm.
want people to have to pay for that.
Hmm.
So, making sure that you interview successfully, making sure you know what your options are. And then again, I cannot say enough. We have to have support. We
Hmm.
have to have people, who can help us with that mock interview, who can help us negotiate salary, who can mentor us, who can tell us, you know what, when you get in the environment, here are some things that you might want to do out the gate. Here are some things that you may want to avoid.
Hmm.
Oh,
Very good.
my
Can we?
heart is full, Miss Erica, and
Thank
I'm
you.
hoping to connect with you afterwards because what I love about you, you speak truth. See, a lot of people don't like to hear the truth, but
Yeah.
when you hear truth, it does something to my spirit. So, I mean, from being in the corporate arena as I have, what you've said and Art was laughingly said. I mean, it was just the truth just hit my face, and I just want to thank you truly for speaking your truth and being that chief power officer. I love that. I can
Thank
say that
you.
I know a chief power officer, Miss Erica.
That's
Thank you
right.
so much. Thank
That's
you. I
right.
appreciate that.
With this being Women's History Month, and you are being the advocate of women and making sure that women move forward, and I thank you for everything that you do. What closing message do you want to send to that struggling mother, that woman who's been unemployed this year, a lot of just debt problems, drama, all of that? How can you help that sister tonight? What message do you want to leave with the audience?
The message I want to leave with the audience is you don't have to stay stuck if you are stuck. One of the things you'd asked what it is I'm working on, one of the things that I also offer that is a free resource, and my courses can be accessed at www.confidentcareerwoman.com, is just because you are a mother, just because you may not have been employed, doesn't mean you're not attractive to an employer. I have a free course called Ditch the Downplay that will help you make sure that when you show up, that you are communicating with confidence and that you're not downplaying who you are. You're not saying, well, I'm just a mom or I'm just a fill in the blank. You're showing up to confidently communicate how you can add value to the organization. The other thing that I would encourage women to do, especially once you get to that place where you are having the interview and you're going through the hiring process, I encourage women to stop sitting on their ask. You have to be your first advocate. You have to be the person who gives you the yes. You don't want to be your first no in anything. So don't talk yourself out of your success. I'm actually having a free masterclass this coming Monday around advocating and not sitting on your ask. And if you're interested in joining me, you can just go to my Instagram profile, Confident Career Woman on IG, and you can sign up for the free masterclass. We have not because we ask not. It's not a guarantee we'll get a yes, but we do need to make sure that we ask. So be
Amen.
encouraged.
Hey man,
Amen.
look,
Oh
I
my
don't know. I
goodness.
feel like I should ask for $20 or something. I don't know. I mean,
Yes,
you
yes,
have not
you
to,
should.
right. Look,
You
did
should.
I just hear a cash out from you? Did I just hear a cash app? Did I just hear that cash register sound? Did I
Ding,
know? Ding,
ding.
ding,
Yeah.
ka-ching. Right. Great job.
Thank
Excellent
Oh
you.
job.
my
Kay
goodness.
Renee, in closing, what do you want to say to our guest? Wasn't she amazing? Look, both of these
Oh,
women tonight. Look, I just want to go hug a
I've
pillow now.
been, I've been doubly blessed, Miss Erica. First and foremost, you are a courageous, confident diva. And as I said to our last guest, it's Michelle, diva, I am the queen of acronyms. So diva stands for determined, intelligent, vivacious, and
Yes.
accomplished. And that's what you are. You are Miss Coach Diva, career coach diva. So thank you for your authenticity. Thank you for your truth. Oh my goodness. I have learned something new. I am definitely going to be following you. And if I have any questions, I will know how to reach out to you. But just
Yes.
thank you for you have filled my heart. You really have with so much knowledge. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to connecting with you after the fact. And it's a little bit easier to speak your truth when you believe this is the work God created you to do.
Oh,
I got some
Amen.
backup, so I don't have
uh,
to worry about my truth.
Okay, so like one day I just need you to come back and deliver this whole message to people, period. We look right,
Amen.
we may need you once a month because really what you're saying, even though it's geared towards women, it's for everybody because every word you've said tonight, I felt it just like Hey Renee. When you've been
Mhm.
through the storm, when you've been through the battle and you want to continue to move forward, you just need to know that everything will be all right. And that's what you are assuring us that
Yes,
we are worthy and that everything will be all right.
it will be all
Amen.
right. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Thank you so much for having me.
We
I
love
had a
you.
ball and I will
Yes.
come back anytime you'll have me. So thank
Thank
you
you.
because our
Thank
community
you.
needs this information. We
Yes.
absolutely
Absolutely.
need it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Miss Erica
Woo!
Spratley.
Thank you
Yes.
so
So
much.
wait, so is ericaspradley.com still working and all that good stuff? Or
Yes, yes. So
okay,
ericaspradley.com is my website. My
okay.
online course platform is confidentcareerwoman.com.
Yes.
God.
All right. Well, that's how you can find more out about this diva. I'm sure she has links and connections and all of that great stuff. Her page is fabulous. Her website is great. All of that. Check her out. We really appreciate you. Thank you for being one of our Women's History Month honorees tonight. And God
Thank
bless you and
you.
continued success. All right.
Bye,
Thank you
Miss
so much.
Erica.
Mwah.
Nice
Good
meeting you.
night. See you
Bye bye.
later. Bye bye.
Bye. Oh,
Yay. Wasn't that fabulous? Wasn't
oh,
that fabulous? That was great. That was excellent. See there? I look, and again, you were off tonight. You were off tonight. You were off. Yeah.
no, I'm on. Okay,
Yes,
always.
always on. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, coming up tomorrow night, it is St. Patty's Day, and tomorrow night I have some wonderful women of Hollywood coming by to join us tomorrow night.
Woo.
Oh yes, three ladies will be here tomorrow night. They are amazing. We're going to talk about Black women and the role they played in Hollywood. And so that's going to be really great. And then we're going to talk about social media, the new phenomenon, and how all of these different platforms. I was talking to one of the ladies. I'll let it out the bag, but actress Marianne Aldo will be here tomorrow night. Iona Morrison will be here tomorrow night. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And then we have another great co-host that's coming. Susan Reed will be joining us, filmmaker. And so I was talking to Marianne about various social media platforms. Marianne has become the queen of Clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Like she is dominating Clubhouse, where I've now discovered TikTok, and I'm dominating in TikTok. I'm meeting so many just people from around the world on TikTok, and people, that are finding me fascinating and all of that. So tomorrow night, we're going to talk about looking into other social media platforms to expand your brand. Because as I said before, TikTok, let everything go on TikTok. It's interesting.
Obviously.
But you also can get inspired. You can learn recipes, fitness instructors. It's just not all eye candy on there and people dancing. It really is a lot of other things. And so we'll talk about all the social media platforms tomorrow night. All right. Well, with that being said, we want to remind you guys, we are a health and wellness show. Don't worry about it, baby. You was called in. Oh, you got it. Okay. Don't forget to please wear your mask, you guys. My mask tonight says, I'm smiling. I am, because it's been a great show. Make sure you cover your nose and mouth. Make sure you cover your nose and mouth. That's a nice mask. It really is. Don't forget to wash your hands. Soap and water is the best thing you can use. If you don't have soap and water, get yourself some hand sanitizer. We call ourselves sexy sanitizers on this show. We put the sanitizer in. Okay, Renee, go. Right. Look, and I even like to do this when I do it. Yes, indeed. Get them hands nice and clean. Yes. Keep doing that. All right. Social distance. What do we say on this show? 6 feet each way. 6 feet. Make sure you stand back. And most importantly, if you are not feeling well, we ask that you please keep your ass in the house. Keep your ass in the house. Easy, simple, does not cost you anything. We don't know yet. We know people fully vaccinated and they end up being diagnosed with COVID. It's not as bad. It's probably the flu more like, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But please stay your ass in the house if you're not feeling well. All right. So join us tomorrow night. We'll celebrate St. Paddy's Day, the luck of the Irish. We'll also talk about the impact that African-American women have made on Hollywood. And then we'll talk about what social media platform is right for you. All right. Anything else, darling? Anything else, DR?
I'm gonna leave a nugget. I gotta leave a nugget, right?
Leave a nugget, darling. Leave a nugget. Please leave a nugget.
This nugget is by Coco Chanel.
Oh,
and she said, the most courageous act is to still think for yourself aloud. And that's Live Your Truth Tuesday.
I love it. I love it. I really do. The Honorable Miss Coco Chanel. That's how it all works. Yes. Thank you, Wamelda. We love you. Yeah, our speakers tonight were just incredible. Thank you to both ladies. We just love and adore both of the ladies who were here tonight. We really do appreciate them to no end. And K. Renee, Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge is where you can find out more information about her. We'll see you tomorrow night. Don't forget, you guys, tomorrow is the last day for the early bird special for my special seminar, Behind the Scenes, the Secrets of How Do You Get Booked on Major TV, Radio, and Digital Media Shows. How do you better yourself to be a great guest? What are some of the tricks, the tools that you need to get on these shows? And tomorrow is the last day of the early bird special, but seats are still available. I will be doing others down the road. This will be the first one, and I'd like for you guys to join me on this one. All right, very good. Anything else, Kay Renee?
Nope, I'm blessed. I'm just doubly blessed. Thank you so much, Art. That's all I got to say is thank you.
You're welcome, darling. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Well, with that being said, we're out of here. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Let's see. Do we have any other comments? Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Debbie. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys later. All right. Good night. Bye.